Go.
What's going on, carnalios? So you guys just saw that video from the Elote lady getting assaulted and robbed by two young African-American males, men, boys, whatever you want to call them, while they were being filmed by, I'm assuming, another African-American female in the car. I don't know if they're doing it for Instagram, for the views, or what just stupidity they're doing it for. Well, let me give you my thoughts on it. When I first saw this video, my first thing that jumped into my mind is, this is exactly why people gangbang. This is exactly what happens. Let's say she has nephews, even sons for that matter. If her sons found out that happened, her nephews found out that happened, the first thing they're going to do is they want to get revenge, man. And stupid stuff like this can actually just make wars happen and have happened in the past, man. Hopefully this is not the case, you know. These two young guys, when I first saw, like I said, I was enraged, brother. I was pissed just like the next brown man. I'm sure there was African Americans that were also as pissed, but I don't think they probably felt it as much as we did, because obviously we don't like seeing our people, you know, get hurt, robbed, or what have you. But, you know, after letting my mind cool down and really, you know, really think about what's going on here, I started thinking, okay, you know what? They robbed her. They did this and that. You know, should they be killed? Should they be that? Just, you know, whatever stupid thoughts that go through your mind. And my thoughts are, you know, that unfortunately is no different than what we sometimes do. I want you to look at this video real quick. This video here is of one Asian student from USC. This happened a few years ago. It was 3 Latinos and 1 Latina. They went in here and tried to rob this kid. I don't know if they ended up robbing him or whatnot, but what they did they robbed him of his life. They assaulted him and killed him with a baseball bat by school. The only thing this kid that did wrong was walk and not know how to speak English, not know how to give him the money. In other words, he did absolutely nothing wrong, man. But what happened? These 3 male Latinos and 1 female, they killed this poor kid, man. They took this kid from their family. This kid was a exchange student from China, came over here, and these are his parents here at the sentencing of one of the accused. Not even accused, he's the killer. You know, and the thing that I think of is, you know, these guys are in prison now. Nobody's pressing up on them. They're just in there for murder robbery. How many homies we got in there for murder robbery? I got some. You know, we are so quick to jump and get upset when you see somebody of a different race assault and hurt us. But when we do it, it's okay? That's my question, you know? That's my issue when I put that last video up, excuse me, and I said I had an issue with Black Lives Matter. My issue with Black Lives Matter is that Black lives only matter when a white cop is killing an African American. But when an African American is killing another African American, we don't think twice. We look the other way. And that's the same thing for the brown community, man. We have been assaulting, robbing, killing, doing all this to one another for decades, brother. I was in the 90s. I know what was going on, man. We were fucking robbing paleteros. Fools in different hoods were extorting these people. They're still doing it to this day. They're still extorting paleteros in certain neighborhoods, brother. What does that tell you? And that's not a black man doing it. That's not a white or Asian man. That's a brown man assaulting another brown man. So to me, the problem isn't that it's just this one single race, you know, fucking trying to point us out and victimize us. We do it more than anybody else, brother. And that's the cycle we need to break. The cycle is the same in the African American community as it is ours. The only thing it's more prevalent in the African American community. And that cycle is no fathers in the homes, single mothers. Sometimes the mother's not even around. They're being raised by grandmothers. So these guys, like these young guys, They're fucking immature, dumb, don't have any kind of empathy or sympathy for not themselves. I'm sure they fucking dislike themselves very much. That's why they're doing shit like this. But I'm sure they'll do it to their own people. Will they do it more to Latinos? Probably, because they're looking at these people as illegal aliens. They're not going to call the cops, and they're easy to victimize. That is an issue. Absolutely. But I think the bigger issue, the bigger thing that we can learn out of this is how do we stop ourselves from victimizing our people? You know, we had that the kid in Palmdale killed by his stepdad, by his mom, Latinos. Then we had another kid in Palmdale, same thing, killed by his mom and dad, Latinos, homie. Like I said, it's if it makes the news and makes big headlines, yeah, we're all on it. We jump on it that they shouldn't be doing this. Oh, they're victimizing our people. It's the raza. But once the limelights go out, the raza goes back home and don't give a fuck anymore, man. And that's the problem. And that's what I don't like about situations like this. Yeah, was it horrible? Fuck yeah, man. Do those guys got something coming? Absolutely, man. But I'm sure there's also a good amount of African Americans that are looking at that video and saying that's some bullshit. Because it was some bullshit. We can't sit here and just generalize African Americans and say they're all like that. Because they're not. Just like people in Asia can't sit there, in China can't sit there and look at those fucking 3 idiots that killed that Asian with the baseball bat and say, look, all fucking Mexicans are like this. Even though I'm sure some of them do, but we're not all like that, brother. And that's the thing we need to start teaching one another. We need to start teaching each other that all our lives matter, man. That you just can't go sit there and out there and victimize people and think it's okay, because it's not, man. At the end of the day, we're the ones that hold our own destiny, man. But if we just sit here and point it out when it's somebody else doing it, but when it's us doing it, it's okay. Like I said, nah, fuck no, man. How many people are in there in prison right now that walk in the yard is good? And I'm not singling people out. I'm just making a point out of this, man. You can go to a liquor store, put a gun in some lady's chest, blow a hole in her chest. You're going to be all right in jail. You're just going to go to jail. Murder, robbery. No big deal, right? That's a fucking issue, brother. That's an issue that we need to break. It's not okay, man. It's not okay to take somebody's life just because you're fucking trying to get high or you want to get drunk. No, it should not be okay across the board. But that's the problem. That's the hypocrisy of what we do when we sit here and get upset at this. Again, was it wrong? Fuck yes. Yes, it was wrong. But it was also wrong when we do it to them. And that's the thing we need to break. We need to stop with this shit that it's us against them. I sit here and make these videos, but I don't make these videos to try to point out and say, oh, it's just them. Nah, we got to look at ourselves sometimes, carnal. And that's the thing that we really don't like doing. People don't like being not exposed. People just don't like kind of being told the truth sometimes. The truth hurts. How about that? The truth hurts. And when people say it, they'll start talking shit. Oh, you're just fucking hating on us. Or nah, homie, I'm a raza. I live in my neighborhood. I'm still here, brother. And I'm here trying to make a difference, man. I'm trying to make sure that doesn't happen all the fucking time. I'm trying to make sure we educate ourselves about shit like this. We gotta educate ourselves about different people's cultures. That's why I made that thing on Blueface. It wasn't a knock on African Americans. Fuck no. It's more of, hey guys, this is wrong. This is how we feel. It's just getting your attention, brother. It's the same thing on this. I could jump on a wagon and say, you know what? F these guys, because it's not like that, man. Because we all make mistakes, brother. I've done some stupid ass shit when I was young. I've hurt some people in some scandalous fucking ways, brother. You know, but should I have my life taken for that? Should I have that tainted on me forever and say, oh, you're just a piece of shit, you're this and that? Who knows? These guys, they're young, they're dumb. Hopefully they get busted, go do some time, get their calentada, whatever they got coming. Come out, learn from it, and understand that what they did was fucking horribly wrong. That instead of being their tia, that could have been their auntie, man. That could have been their granny. You know, it's just different names for relatives. But at the same time, what we both gotta see on each other's side is that we love our grandmas the same. You guys may call them granny, we call them abuelita. Like I said, you guys may call them auntie, we call them tia. You know, tío, you guys call them unc. Whatever it is, brother. But at the end of the day, we love our family members just as much as you guys do, and vice versa, brother. Nobody loves their family member more or less. It's the same thing. But we need to start respecting ourselves a lot more. We need to start speaking out when stuff like this happens. We can't just sit there and automatically start using derogatory terms towards one another, because all that does, that just adds more fuel to the fire, man. And when it adds more fuel to the fire, it destroys our neighborhood more. It makes those younger kids look at us fighting one another, and what do? They start hating one another more, and they start hating one another over, let's say, an incident like this. If it doesn't get nipped in the bud, if it keeps going, it becomes a gang war, brother. It becomes a fucking family war, and that family war will turn into a gang war. Well, that's where we gotta stop. We gotta sit here and educate our young. Say, look, this is wrong, man. You don't do this, and that's on both sides, man. Just like how the African Americans should be talking to their youth, their youngsters, and saying, hey, homie, we don't do this kind of shit, brother. This is bullshit, man. Our homies should be talking to them youngsters, be like, listen, youngster, you going over there busting on these fools, doing this and that. That ain't gonna get us anywhere. That's gonna get you a fucking prison term. Gonna destroy your life. Then your mom doesn't have a kid around. I don't know if you got a kid, then the father's not around. And guess what? That fucking cycle continues, man. The only way we can stop this cycle is by actually acting like fucking adults. Stop to think real quick and don't act on your emotions, man. Because your emotions will get the best of you. And when they get the best of you, you're gonna pay the price, brother. Yeah, you might get your money real quick, but you're gonna pay the price. So to me, it's more about learning from one another, respecting one another, and doing this, homie. Conversing, communicating, man. We need to communicate with one another. We can't just sit here and scream at each other, because when we're screaming at each other, nobody's learning, nobody's teaching, nobody's listening. We're just screaming. But when we're talking like this, we're having a conversation. So, this is just a short video to give my 2 cents on it. I would please appreciate some comments. Again, keep them respectful, man. This is a grown folk fucking conversation. All that fucking little kid shit, I ain't got time for it, homie. I don't think any of the subscribers either. So, other than that, guys, you have a great day. I appreciate the support, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.